All right, guys. I mean, you guys came in here and you asked me to watch this response from Tipster. I guess it'll be interesting about the Vaush stuff. Why not? Let's take a look. And then you voted. 80% of you said to watch it. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's see what we got. Was I wrong to defend? Well, I would say yes. Like I've said this, I keep saying this every time I do it. You should have just said, I know Vaush personally. He's a good guy. You know, I'm still his friend even if he's made mistakes, and said that on Twitter and then never said anything again. That's it. I wouldn't have gone into like this whole thing. You know, even if you wanted to cover Ethan's thing, I don't know if he did. Did he cover Ethan's stream or whatever? You could have watched and be like, no, here's the explanation for this. Here's the explanation for that. The, you know, drawing stuff in the folder, definitely wrong. And, you know, I'll talk to him privately about it or something. You know what I mean? But he's been kind of going crazy on Twitter, man. Like, what do you gain from doing Twitters? What do you get out of that, man? I don't know. I feel like, and also, you know, and this is just a question. Do you feel like these people would bat this hard for you? Because I constantly see Tipster batting hard for people, and it seems to be very misplaced. But they don't see. I don't know if they would bat this hard for you. Why are you doing this to yourself, man? What are you doing? I don't get it.
Situation
Whatever
has honestly ruined anime for me so fucking much that I never want to watch anime again.
Oh, no!
With anime, I got my waist bin here, and I got some of my.
This was the clip. This is what you put as your intro, man.
My anime. We got Death Note, one of my favorites. Fuck it, throw it in the bin. We got some Dragon Ball Z.
He's so proud of this moment. He made this his intro.
Another great anime show. Throw it in the fucking bin.
It's okay. All right. It's Dragon Ball Super is not that good. Just gonna be honest with you. It's just kind of annoying. I'm just being real.
Robotech seems pretty harmless, but who knows? Maybe there's some lolly in there. Throw it in the fucking bin.
This is very video game kawaii.
So, now we're going to talk about something that I'm sure a lot of you guys
Very
predicted
kawaii.
I would talk about today. And oh boy, Tipster had an opinion that made people big mad on the internet.
You know what else you could do too? When you have an opinion, people get upset by it, you just move on. That's what I do. Sometimes it's not even worth responding to it. You know, sometimes you just have to say what you have to say, and then you just move on. You know what I mean? That's another bit of advice. Something to keep in mind.
And it's been something else. So why don't we go ahead and why don't we talk about it? Okay, chat. So as you guys know, there's been a bit of controversy with a content creator known as Vaush as of late.
Title.
And you know, there's been a lot of people coming for Vaush, H3H3, several people in the commentary community, etc., over the whole incident with the you know, the leaking of the folder and going back and looking at some of his old takes on you know, various different topics and debates and stuff. And you know, a lot of people took serious issue with my position on some of these topics. And so there's been a lot of pushback, a lot of people big mad at me, and I decided to talk about this mainly because I wanted to clarify.
I mean, dude, it's such. I don't know. I mean, come on. Like you had this a similar issue with that one person that accidentally. That's what they said. They accidentally liked that picture of that drawn 7-year-old, and you're like, no, it's not lolly. It's kawaii or chibi or something like that. And then I don't think Tipster's a you know, gross guy like that. I just think that he bats too hard for his friends, man. And I think that's pretty generous to have, you know, that's to have that perspective instead of going in on this guy. I'm just saying, man, why do you keep putting yourself in this position? Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's not a good place for you to put yourself into it. It's not a good look. Okay.
Some positions, but also people have used this as kind of an opportunity to kind of spread misinformation about me that I wanted to take a moment to try and clarify. So yeah, we're gonna do that today. Another person who's responded to this is Keffels. Keffels did a video earlier today called Vaush and the Hypocrisy
that was terrible.
Of Ethan Klein. Originally I had planned on reacting to this video, and I just
You should have, man, for the money, baby.
decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But if you guys want to check it out, I'll post a link in chat. And if you're watching this as a YouTube video later, I will share the link in the chat.
You guys got to get your money right, man. React to that for the dollars, baby.
That as well. But I kind of wanted to make my positions crystal fucking clear on this, because if you look at a lot of the coverage of the situation, the take that they are showing is not reflective of what I actually think at all. They would tell you,
all right, maybe we've all been Led Astray by Ethan Klein, guys. That's the claim, I
things
guess.
like, Tipster's defending the existence of Lolly. They would tell you things like Tipster is defending Vaush's position that, CP is okay, and just like a bunch of crazy shit that's just not fucking true. Okay, so before we get into this at all,
if you need some friends, I should be his friend. I'm not in the business of online friends, to be absolutely honest with you. I'm not even making a joke. I'm not really interested. I'm more interested in like real life friends. There's something that's like very disingenuous about friends on like online. I don't have very, you know what I mean? Like I'm friends with like Dantavius. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really friends with people on the internet, especially in the commentary community. Not because like oh, the commentary community is bad. All communities have like levels of toxicity, but there's like a it's a weird business to make like super close or try to be close friends with somebody, because you're all in the business of reacting, covering controversy, and then like it adds like a weird level to it where if they get into controversy, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just weird. Or if you get into controversy, it makes it like too personal. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like the friendly field, you know what I mean?
Oh, I just want to make my positions here very fucking clear, okay?
All right.
I'm not okay with Lolly. I think that shit is insanely degenerate and fucked up, and just I'm not okay with it.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not okay with CP, okay? Nor am I okay with justifying the existence of CP. And I'm certainly not okay with children having sex with adults, okay?
That's true. I agree with all these things, dude. Super based. I'm glad somebody said it, because I have never heard anyone say this before.
These are things that I am not okay with. And so if you came away from other people's coverage thinking this fucking Tipster guy is insane, like, why is he okay with this shit? I'm absolutely not. If you want my honest opinion about...
You think that Tipster only didn't cover the Keffels video because Tipster defended Chris Tyson? Oh, okay, maybe.
What happened with Vaush and the stuff that...
That's true. It's okay to be acquainted with people. That's true. I'm not friends. That's true.
On his computer. I think that he was insanely careless, and I don't think that shit should have been on his computer. I think it's a real problem that he had that shit on his computer, and I think he should be more careful in the future.
Well, okay, just to be clear, I'm half with you. I do think it's a problem, but what is being more careful in this context? And I don't know if you mean this. This is just what I'm going to let you know everybody else is hearing. What everyone else is hearing is... What, you want him to be more careful with hiding his CP or his lolicon? That's what people are hearing. I'm just being honest with you. It's gross. It's weird. I don't understand it, and like you should never do it. Not be more careful. It's not like he accidentally downloaded Lolly. I guess that's his argument. There's no. How do you accidentally do that? I was browsing. I was on the internet, and.
Now, I know a lot of people are like instantly condemning him because like, oh, he had, supposedly Lolly on his computer, and therefore like he needs to be like canceled, and like, he's a pedophile now or whatever. And I tend to be a little bit more charitable in the sense that I feel like
yeah. Actually, this is what Vaush told me.
I was searching around the internet.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is how I know he was honest.
No, I was searching around the
Yes.
Mom. I was searching around the internet.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I was downloading this thing, and I got a computer virus.
I want to see it.
This makes the most sense to me.
I deleted the virus.
Yep.
Oh my God, Mom. I had a computer virus, and I got
Do you think that Vaush deleted the pictures? Yeah.
that I had the virus. And when I was getting out of my chair, my pants were slipping, and I was pulling them up and getting back on the chair.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
I got scared, and my pants slipped down a little.
And my pants slipped down, and it was all just short stack.
A lot of people on the internet instantly want to assume malice where ignorance could be a simple answer. The issue here is that like when you're talking about like hentai and anime and stuff like that, the art style is so ambiguous that sometimes you could be looking at a character that looks like an adult character, and then you later find out it's not an adult character.
Okay, but that's not lolicon. Let's just be clear, right? You could look at a character that looks like they're 25 years old, but then they turn out to be 17. That's true, but lolicon isn't that. Okay, if somebody's like, I like this character so hot, and they turned out to be 17, I wouldn't really care. That's different from like, oh, this is a character that's 25 years old, but they're drawn to be like 10. That's what we're talking about.
So it's not always like easy.
That's right. He downloaded Petite Goblins, but what happened is the virus turned him into Lolly. Exactly, dude. It was AI.
To tell. If I could give you guys honest advice, when it comes to this kind of shit, if you're into adult content, stay the fuck away from hentai.
Okay. Can you give me dishonest advice now? Because I'd love to hear it.
Okay, because you might see something that looks perfectly fine in hentai and then find out, oh, that's like a 16-year-old girl. Well, fuck,
that's not lolly.
That shit. Like, just stay away from hentai. If I can give you guys
the worst advice I've ever gotten in my life, to be absolutely honest with you,
honest to God advice, stay away from that shit, okay? Because you're asking for fucking trouble at that point. So yeah, when it comes to like the stuff that was on Vaush's computer, that's not okay. I'm not okay with that. I'm willing to give him the charitability of hearing him out and saying, hey, according to him, I didn't realize what it was, but apparently it is lolly, and that's not okay. I'm willing to give him the charitability of assuming that maybe this was an accident, and I don't want to jump to the conclusion that he's a pedophile over that shit.
Is this his original take, or is this like kind of a backwalk to take? I don't understand.
That's essentially my position when it comes to the stuff on his computer.
Okay,
now,
cool.
when it comes to the arguments,
I guess that's a fine take. Yeah, sure.
He made in previous debates.
I would have just left it there, but okay.
I feel like what's happening here is we have a lot of normies who aren't familiar with the.
Just to be clear, a normie is somebody who is not terminally online. This is one of the things that always gets me. It's like, how are you going to insult the regular people who aren't terminally online and are just made uncomfortable by this stuff because it's bizarre. It's like, it's not normal to have a provocative stance about child exploitation the way Vaush does. You know, like I said 100 times, like this guy he could have led the conversation and said, hey guys, I think it's kind of hypocritical that we are consuming things like we're sitting here and we're consuming things like computers and chocolate that, you know, apparently there is child exploitation attached to it through, like, you know, basically slave wages. But then we ignore that. But then when it comes to like CP, which does similar or the same thing, we're all up in arms. I think we should be up in arms about all of it. That would have been fine. Nobody would have had a problem with that take. But he wanted Twitter attention. He wanted to sound super based and cool. He wanted to sound like a super based guy. That's where that comes from. That's where the hot take comes from. And that's like ultimately the problem. So IMO.
Debate space, and they're getting their first glimpse of some of the crazy shit that happens in the debate space, especially in the early days of this space. They're starting to see this shit and they're like, holy fuck, what the fuck is going on? But like, if you've ever spent any time in this space, any significant amount of time, some of the shit, and I referenced this in my last stream, some of the shit that people debate or some of the arguments that people will use in a debate.
Papa wants the H3 fame. What the hell does that even mean, dude? I don't need the H3 fame. I'm more famous than Ethan. What are you talking about, bro? I'm a fucking legend. What are you talking about, dude?
To back up their positions are like really fucking insane, okay? I talked about the fact that in the past, you know, Destiny has done debates about incest, and Destiny has done debates about using pragmatic CP to treat pedophiles through exposure therapy.
I mean, like, I disagree that would work, but that's not the same thing as having Lolicon on your computer. While having a bunch of takes that come off incredibly pro child pornography. So you can't even compare these things.
There was the infamous dogfucker debate. Like, some of the shit that people debate about is so bizarre. I even heard a debate one time, and I know some people in chat know which one I'm talking about. There was a debate one time where someone tried to argue that another person is a pedophile because they think that if your partner has a foot fetish and you go out in public barefooted, where children may be present with your partner that has a foot fetish, then you're engaging in an act of pedophilia. Like, it's so fucking weird, right? So essentially, like, my take on Vaush's previous takes is this, okay? I think
why are you friends with people that do this stuff, man? These are debate pedophiles.
That they were misrepresented in a way to make it seem like Vaush was being pro child pornography or in favor of children having sex with adults, and it's just not true. Like, if you actually listen to the subject matter that's being discussed, did he use a horrible fucking analogy to make his point? Yes,
he used an intentionally provocative analogy, and then he got that in return. You know what I mean? He used an intentionally provocative analogy, and then he got the provocativeness in return. The thing is that nobody would have been talking about this except for seeing him with yucky pictures on his computer.
Absolutely did. This is something that Vaush himself would admit that, yes, he used a horrible fucking analogy to make his points. But anybody who comes away from that and says this guy's in favor of child pornography and this guy is in favor...
I don't think it's unreasonable for some people to just feel like he's saying that just to try to get heat off of him. I mean, you know, I don't know. Vaush doesn't come off as the most honest person in the world. You can call me a dumb, stinky little fucker if you want, but I feel like I'm at least honest, you know? I don't think Vaush really has any credibility for honesty. I think that's what the problem is, too.
of, you know, adults having sex with kids. That's just not the case. As a matter of fact, I want to show you guys this compilation of clips of Vaush literally arguing the opposite position of that. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at it.
Oh my God. I mean, again, people are just going to write this off. If he's arguing against it, they're just going to write this off as him just trying to cover his ass. After he got squashed on this topic, you kind of have to talk about, like, you kind of have to go into the, I mean, if anything, you should have, to help Vaush, shown the proper context of the videos and stuff that you're talking about. I don't know.
The vegan gains debate, that's a solid F. Not only did I not make my arguments well, at one point I made my anti-child pornography argument so poorly that it got clipped out of context and people are using it as an argument that I support child pornography.
My basic argument is that, like,
why is child pornography bad? Because to produce it, you have to hurt children.
Because it hurts people to produce it, yeah?
Producing child porn requires harming a child. The argument I'm making is that it frustrates me that liberals recognize child pornography as bad. Great, nice, well done. But then they're really, really defensive of, like, global commodity production chains that involve child slave labor. Like, they'll talk that off, like, really, really, really readily, you know? Like, oh, well, there's no other choice. Oh, well, we don't have to care about that. Oh, yeah, dude, like, cobalt that's mined up is done by child slave. But, you know, like, whatever, that's just how the economy goes.
Oh, dude, whatever. Like, we make computers. They look sick, bro. Like, don't think about it.
So that was the argument that I was making originally.
I don't know. Me personally, I would have tried to find another example.
Yeah.
Me too. Hey, no, hey, me too, buddy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is the example. Hey, you know, it's kind of bad that kids get hurt doing child labors. That's, I guess, the examples. I mean, again, dude, it's intentionally provocative for attention. Like, and you got the attention, man.
Jesus. So yeah, essentially he was making an argument against child slave labor, and he just used a really shit analogy to make his point, right? Like, there are plenty of other ways that you could discuss this shit. And yeah, you know, using a child pornography argument and, you know, that shit, probably not the best argument to use. There are definitely better ways that you can make that point. But I don't think he's in favor of child pornography. And when it comes to the lolly shit that was on his folder, that shit should not have been there. And if I'm being completely honest, he's fucking retarded for having this.
Whoa, dude, what happened, bro? You can't be using that word, dude. It's a bad boy word. Come on, brother. I thought you were better than this. You're like a grown-ass adult using fucking slurs, dude. It's okay when other people do it, not you. Just kidding. I don't like the word.
Shit on this computer. There's so many people who are making the argument that I am defending Vaush having lolly on his computer, and that's not the case.
I mean, again, man, your history looks bad when you keep defending people that are liking and downloading lolly shit. So you should have just stayed out of this one just for your own career. You know,
saying is that I don't want to attribute what happened in that situation instantly to malice. I want to give him a little bit of charitability and assume that, okay, he's saying that it was an accident. He didn't realize it was lolly, and that's why it was on his computer, but he got rid of it as soon as he found out. I'm willing to be charitable, give him some charitability, and assume that, okay, maybe he's telling the truth here. Is it possible I'm wrong? Sure. And if more stuff comes out at that point, then hey, that's something that Vaush has to deal with on his fucking own. Like, I ain't saving your ass if more shit like that comes out. Okay.
I don't think you could save his ass, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think you. I'm like, this is no offense to you, but I don't know if you're. I don't know if a lot of people are like, yeah, this tipster guy gonna, you know, he's got a lot of credibility. I think if anything, you attaching yourself to this makes it like worse. It would have been better if Vaush had no allies in this scenario, I think. So.
Okay, Vaush.
And like I said before in a different video, is that you guys should have been morally condemning him much more intensely, because if you're supposedly his closest friends and you guys are running so hard to bat for him, you know, all over Twitter, this sounds like a walk-off point, like you're trying to kind of back it down a little bit. Now it just seems like he's surrounded by people who think their behavior is okay. The only reason you changed your mind is because you got bullied into it on the internet. So, you know, if you guys are from the stance where like, yeah, it's really gross, but I don't think he's into this kind of stuff, I'll talk to him in private and whatever, and you just left it at that, I think that people would have been more open to forgiving Vaush, because then at least his friends and the people around him wouldn't be acceptable, wouldn't find the behavior acceptable. So I don't think this is optically a very good idea.
You're on your own at that point. But like, honestly, like, I really truly think the internet is so quick to attribute things to malice when more often than not, it's just ignorance or fucking stupidity. And let's be honest, if you've seen that clip, he looked really fucking stupid in that clip. Now, some people have used this as an opportunity to misrepresent some things that have happened with me in the past and try and not only dig up old arguments that I made and misrepresent them again, but also tell the story in ways that isn't accurate to the truth. An example of that we can take a look at here is this Twitter video that Keemstar sent to AB.
I don't know, man.
Who is part of the...
like, I thought, didn't this guy announce like his departure from this community like 100 times? You know, I don't know. How do you keep getting involved in it? I think you need to just delete Twitter, bro, and you wouldn't have these issues. Because it's not like you made a video on a topic on your channel and kind of left it there. You were all over Twitter. It's like Twitter gets so much reach without any actual financial revenue, and like it's just worthless. Just go on like a YouTube and be like, here's my perspective on Vaush, and then just like move on to something else. You don't have to, you know. And if people are willing to, this is the problem. Like you're going on Twitter and you're making everything a big text argument, like text chains trying to own Ethan and blah blah blah, also dumb bullshit. With like no intelligence or nuance. How does that help you? Wouldn't it make more sense to make a YouTube video, even if it had less reach, where people could sit down and like watch you for an hour, you know, go through your perspective, just like in a way where you care about it and it's like meaningful. And then if they listen, they listen, and they don't. But that's not like what you're doing, right? You're giving them an opportunity to take you out of context. And now you have the video that you should have just made originally without diving into controversy. And so now it kind of feels like you're just walking stuff back. But if you had just made the video, you just on Twitter, you should just delete it, frankly. It clearly isn't particularly good for you or your career. You delete Twitter, but even if you said anything, you should have been like, oh, a lot of these stuff was gross from Vaush, but like we're still friends, and like I'm going to talk to him privately about it or something, blah, blah, blah. Or here, go watch my full video. That should have been all it was, but you've decided to turn this into a circus, and then you're like wondering why everybody's so toxic. But like you're very much part of the toxicity. You're involving yourself in it. You're part of it. You're a big part of it. I would argue you're one of the more toxic people from this amorphous commentary community. You know, you're not helping yourself at all. This isn't like a positive thing for you. So I don't understand what you're doing.
H3H3, I guess you could say their production team or whatever. But let's play this video and I'll address these points word for word as we go along, at least the parts that pertain to me. So here we go.
Things you need to look for. Tipster, all right? Not the first time he's defended Lolly.
Kind of true.
Almost a year
Which, by the way, I didn't actually defend Lolly. We'll get into that in a little bit.
ago today, one of his moderators posted on Twitter a picture of Lolly. Now, before
That's wrong. Leave it to the guy who runs Drama Alert to 14 seconds into a video already get it wrong. I'm going to summarize this, but if you guys want the full context, I did a video on this last year that you guys can take a look at. It's this video, my response to the drama. I'll link it in the chat, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description for the YouTube video as well, if you want the full context. But just to summarize what happened. I had a friend, she's an artist, she follows several other artists on Twitter, so art is constantly shown in her Twitter feed, stuff gets retweeted into her Twitter feed, etc. Okay? And so while she was scrolling through her feed, according to what she says, she accidentally...
Yeah, she accidentally liked the picture, and then you went hard saying that it wasn't actually lolicon, it was chibi art or whatever it is, or fucking Hawaii art or kawaii art, and it was which means cute, whatever. And then after she finally just said like, oh, I accidentally liked this, you were like, oops, sorry guys, I messed up. Like the most charitable interpretation. Thank you, baby. How much was it? Okay, cool. Happy birthday to my friend. Anyway, then after they walked it back, you're like, oops, sorry. The picture was like a 7-year-old in a fucking like Borat bikini. Okay. And then I remember one of the defenses was like, oh, actually it wasn't a girl, it was a boy. It's like, dude, you're 30 something. Like you don't get the opportunity to be like, I didn't know it was lolicon. You're an adult. Okay. I'm going to say you just went to bat hard for a friend, and that's the most charitable interpretation. But dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's what happened. That shit was that was not good. I couldn't even show you the picture. It's so gross. So inappropriate.
Liked something that the community later deemed to be lolly. Okay. And so they started attacking her.
That's not what the community deemed it, bro. Anybody with a brain could deem it that. Come on.
For this, and she came to me in a panic in a Discord call, and she's like, I don't know, like, what the fuck, like, to do. Like, I'm freaking out. And we talked for like a solid hour about the situation. And ultimately, what I decided to do was I decided to defend her because she was being called a pedophile and a lolicon, and I know that she is not either of those fucking things. So I defended her, and I also said, I don't even know if this qualifies as lolly. Like, that was essentially all my argument was at the time. I don't think my friend is a lolicon or a pedophile, and I don't even know if this qualifies as lolly. And those questions...
I can't really show you the pictures. Yes, I saw the image. Okay, Jack... No, just kidding. I saw the image. It was concerning. It was not good. I don't even know how to explain it.
Somehow got spun into me defending lolly, which is not the fucking case.
that moderator could even...
And again, my friend did not post the picture As Keemstar just said, my friend liked a picture on Twitter by accident, and as soon as people brought it to her attention, she unliked it.
Respond. Tipster started defending her left and right. Then,
yeah, I did defend her because she was my friend.
The moderator.
Such a bad. It's just not a good. Like, listen, I understand being more charitable to your friends. I think that's a great thing, but you don't have to defend your friends when they're in the wrong. Sometimes you can just be, you can condemn them in a nicer way. And I think my understanding, him even talking about it signal boosted the fact that this person liked the image, which they might have just liked on accident, and turned it into a whole big thing when it didn't have to be one.
Realized, oh my God, I posted lolly, I'm in the wrong, and apologized and deleted the tweet. You know what Tipster did? Double down, triple down, and still defended her. But
yeah, because they continue to attack my friend. So like I was defending my friend.
That's not it.
Hey, listen, friendship is magic, dude. My lolly pony, you know? My lolly pony, my lolly pony. That's the kind of pony I want to be. I don't want to fuck a horse. I just want to be the horse. Fucking my lolly ponies. Am I? You know what I mean? Chat. Is this a W or an L? Is this a big W or a big V for Vaush?
Also, Chris from Mr. Beast.
This is the one that really ticks me off.
Why?
This is the one that really ticks me off. Listen to this.
But that's not it. Also, Chris from Mr. Beast, right? He got exposed for posting lolly, right?
Okay.
Back in the day. The artist.
Yeah, it was like 8 years ago.
That made the lolly that Chris posted from Mr. Beast is the same artist that drew my daughter in a sexual way and got canceled.
That's actually true. This artist in question that he's talking about, this artist is known as Shadman or Shadbase, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But this is true. This artist did draw Keemstar's daughter, who was, I think, like 6 or 8 years old at the time, in a sexual way, and I think that's fucking disgusting.
Don't clip that.
We'll get
Don't clip that.
into Shadman in a little bit.
Canceled. Shaman or whatever the fuck his name is. All right. So it's personal. This is personal. I hate this shit. It's fucking disgusting. All right. Okay. Guess what Tipster did? Tipster defended Chris from Mr. Beast and that post and that fucking post.
It's not exactly what happened.
I mean, that is what happened. Listen, I looked at it and I think it's like, I'm going to chalk it up to an edgy joke. I'm going to be nice and whatever and move on. But like, how do you not understand somebody? I'm not a particularly big Keemstar fan, but this guy, like, he has a personal relationship with it. They drew his daughter. Obviously, he's not going to have the most charitable interpretation. Why would he? Like, he's obviously going to hate this person. Shade the Shadman. You're going to hate that person. So, like, why do we not, like, it's something to understand. Like, no shit. If he didn't hate the person, then he would be a weirdo. You know?
And we'll get into that in a bit.
Oh, so he has a long history of doing this. Here's the best part.
I don't even know
Flamingo
what the fuck
is a content creator.
What is Flamingo?
Who got exposed.
What the fuck is Flamingo? What the fuck?
For having lolly or posting lolly or something like that, right?
Okay.
And last night on Tipster stream, somebody donated to Tipster saying, you and Flamenco should go bowling together. Tipster said last night on stream, no, Flamenco is a pedo.
Damn.
Flamenco's a pedo,
I mean, Flamenco probably is a pedo.
That true?
And he...
Well, probably. What are you, pedo jacketing?
He's definitely a stalker and a Kiwi farmer and a real fucking weirdo.
It's okay.
I don't regret what I said about him.
Tipster, what about Vaush?
Nor do I take it back.
But what about fucking Vaush? So I want these hypocritical.
Maybe the flamenco guy. His biggest problem is not having a massive platform that Tipster could potentially connect himself to. Just kidding. Just fucking around.
Fucking scumbags. Fucking delete it. I want them deleted. I want them fucking deleted.
Remember, Mr. Anti-Deplatform Keemstar advocating for people being deplatformed over false pedo and lolicon allegations.
I feel like even people who are against deplatforming, I think that when it comes to kids, people typically have a different perspective, but I don't know. Okay.
Okay, nice. Anyway, the rest of it's just about Vaush. I just kind of wanted to address that point. Now, he mentioned
good job.
Someone known as Shadman, aka Shadbase. I'm going to fill you guys in on who this legitimately disgusting person is, in case you don't already know. We're going to start on their Wikitubia. We're going to cover basically...
Is this really going to be the video? What the fuck?
The description of who they are, and we're also going to cover a couple of their...
Why do we need to cover the person? Why, like, just like talk about it in reference to Chris from Mr. Beast saying whatever, liking whatever they like, then they kind of move on.
Controversy, so you can kind of get an idea of who we're dealing with here.
Okay.
Shadman, I don't know how to pronounce their real name, so I'm just...
Why are you going into this so much?
Just going to call him Shadman. Better known as Shadman, is a Swiss former YouTuber and artist, also known for Rule 34 and pornographic art and webcomics. He's known for making art of lollies and other characters such as Elastigirl. He created his website...
What about the mom? She makes me elastic, dude. The Credibles mom? What the fuck is her name? Oh, dude, I love that movie. I love her. I love that one. It's the best. She looks like Aunt Cass. They have a very similar build. It's not too bad, brothers.
Shadbase, and Newgrounds account in 2009 and YouTube account in 2010. Ever since launching his online career, he would gain a cult following and would meet...
It just feels inappropriate to, like, signal boost this guy. What the fuck?
Online friends. He has also become a controversial figure on the internet due to his art, but has still remained relevant in internet culture.
Okay.
And, like, the crazy thing about this guy is, like... some of the shit that happened in the past with this guy, like this guy got exposed as like drawing lolly art, but so many people were like fans of his work back in the day, even though he did this disgusting fucking artwork.
Helen Parr, baby. There you go. Elastigirl is the mom. Wait, who did they say? Invisible Girl? Oh, who cares if the guy drew Elastigirl? That's the mom. She's hot. Invisible Girl. What the fuck's her name? I mean, I think it's Violet. And then there's Dash. And I don't know the dad's name either. He's Dad. Mr. Incredible.
So many people were fans of his artwork. You would have YouTubers who would commission this guy to do thumbnails for them or do art for their videos and shit like that.
Weird,
like,
man.
People loved this guy. They didn't love the lolly art he did, but they loved his, like, non-lolly art. And it's just like, it's crazy to me looking back at that shit because, like, anyone now would say it doesn't matter if some of the art this guy does isn't lolly. If he's drawing lolly, like, do not support that fucking guy. But for some reason back then, everybody just kind of turned a blind eye to it. There was actually a situation where some people were trying to petition to get his website
Objection, Your Honor. Relevancy.
shut down. And there were people in the YouTube commentary and skeptic crowd who were like, well, yeah, his art's controversial and it's kind of gross or whatever, but my free speech. I'm not even joking.
Whoa.
I'm not even fucking joking. People were literally speaking out against this guy having his website shut down because my free speech. It's insane. Now let's look at some of his controversies. We'll go into lolly drawings. He's also drawn art of seductive underage girls called lollies, from which he's gotten into drama. Some fans defend him since most characters he drew were fictional, but he's drawn pornographic art of real underage people. He has also drawn Rule 34 of his own mother. Later on, Shadman...
I get it. That's relatable. I get that. Just kidding. Tipster is wrong here. The reason people defended shit at the time was because they felt that it was a free speech. That's what he just said, yeah.
Had said that he regrets making the drawings and promised to take it off of his website. However, he didn't keep his promise as he continued to draw underage girls such as Soph.
What is Soap?
Soph was a YouTuber who, as the article says, at the time was 11.
What the fuck?
Due to the fact that he drew underage girls, the university he went to reported him to the authorities.
Good. Did he get arrested?
Then we have the Keemstar controversy, which we referenced earlier.
Okay.
On Tumblr, someone asked him to make art of Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter giving Donald Trump a blowjob. He said he would...
That's fucked up. Why would he do that?
Do it if Trump won.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh. It's just like that Donald Trump is involved. It made me laugh. I'm sorry. It's what a weird thing.
Won the election. When Trump did win, Shadman drew art of Keemstar's daughter portraying her in an overly sexualized manner.
Do you think it was Donald Trump who recommended the picture or what?
To which Keemstar responded by threatening to call the cops. Colossal is Crazy invited Shadman on his stream to talk about it, and Shad said because he respected him, he would take it down. The drawing has since been removed.
Gross.
And there's just a ton of other, like, really fucked up things that this guy has drawn. Like, this guy is a literal fucking lolicon. Literally draws lolly art. I think anybody who has, like, I don't know, commissioned him to do art for their channels or whatever, like, what the fuck were you thinking? It's not like it was some hidden secret that he was a lolicon. This was, like, publicly known shit. And people were supporting this guy and defending this guy. It's nuts, right? So now, let's get to where I supposedly defended this art. The example they're using of me defending his artwork is this post. That
yeah, I mean, you defended Chris from Mr. Beast, saying that you don't think it was like an edgy joke. Like, okay.
I put up when I defended Chris Tyson. Now, you guys may remember Chris Tyson.
I mean, Ethan literally also like has the same take about Chris Tyson. That like I think it's gross and immature, but like hopefully they've become a better person. So it's not like you don't really have to like vehemently just even defend this point. Nobody actually cares that much.
Tyson was getting a lot of transphobic harassment, threats against their life. People were trying to
imagine a former president getting outed for commissioning Shadman. That'd be fucking insane.
Make them out to be a pedo, etc., etc. I was defending Chris Tyson because people were trying to be transphobic towards them.
Oh, I wasn't trying. Just kidding. I love trans people. I love it.
And one of the things they did was they dug through a bunch of old tweets and found some jokes that they had made and tried.
I mean, it's hard to do joke when, you know, they had a picture in their living room. But still, again, I'll say, yeah, yucky stuff. Hopefully that there was a little too edgy of a moment.
To use those to make them out to be a pedo. I'm going to go ahead and play this YouTube short. It's also on TikTok.
All right.
So you guys can see what I had to say.
Oh, can you show us a TikTok one? What's your TikTok?
All right, guys. So as you know, there's been a lot of people on the internet making a big deal about the fact that Chris Tyson from the
you shouldn't be doing that, Tipster. You need to make sure you get rid of the watermark on your video, or else YouTube might demonetize it. Just letting you know. Just a little bit of friendly advice. Yesesi Baka.
Beast Crew came out as gender non-conforming recently.
Whoa.
They're trying to like make a lot of outrage and drama surrounding somebody basically just trying to live their life. But it's gotten to the point where people started digging into like old tweets of theirs and stuff like that to find some reason to cancel them.
I want to talk to you
the
guys.
latest thing is that apparently Chris Tyson is a pedophile because he made some edgy jokes about lolly and kids. Now, I gotta be honest, they're not the kind of jokes that I personally would make, but we've literally gotten to the point where making edgy jokes makes you a pedophile. I kid you not. That's how low the bar for pedophilia has become. At this point, give
I think it's more than just jokes, but okay.
it like a month or two, and you'll be considered a pedophile just for breathing the same air as children. So that was the video.
Well, what the fuck was that? That was just weird.
Okay. And people are passing around this video saying that I defended Shadman art in this video. Never mind the fact that
I mean, I don't understand why this needed to be its like own independent video. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's so much better when you're able to sit down in like a long form video instead of like some kind of a short or something, and have a take where you've gone through, you know, a ton of different you've qualified the take in so many different ways. Like, hey, you know, when you look back at the Chris thing from Mr. Beast, a lot of it was like a lot of the tweets were like either jokes or them responding to somebody who actually liked Lolicon in a way that was like you know, speaking down to them. That's my understanding of the context of that. And then the picture is really inappropriate. I get it, but I don't. You know, I think it was a fucked up time on YouTube. But you could say that after you've qualified that take on your video. That's fine to have. But when you start taking it and tweeting it out by itself and making a short of it and tweeting and putting that out by itself, what do you expect people to think? You know, you're just giving them a provocative hot take. There are some things that you need time to like really qualify the take, and it's not like a good thing to just signal boost every little thing that you know what I mean? I just don't think that I don't see why die on this hill constantly.
I don't actually mention Shadman's art in the video at all, but this is being used as proof that I defended Shadman art. What I said that I defended was jokes, edgy jokes that Chris made that I personally would not make because, admittedly, they're jokes that make me really fucking uncomfortable. Okay? Now, let's actually get to the bottom of this. I found an old tweet of mine about this situation. I said, while I wouldn't make the jokes myself, we have apparently reached the point where making edgy jokes equals pedophilia. Boy, oh boy, we have really lowered the bar at this point. And I think that's true. I think on the internet, people have like lowered the bar to an insane degree of like what is considered a pedophile, to the point that pedophile has almost lost all meaning, right? And I think that like when you make serious allegations of somebody being a pedophile and you do it in this way, it really kind of mocks legitimate victims of pedophilia in a way. And I don't think that's okay. While I wouldn't make the jokes
I guess, sure. I mean,
myself,
they still had a picture. It's weird. I get why people are upset with it.
we have apparently
like, yeah, some of the motivation to go after Chris was because like of transphobia. Like this whole thing started with the Sunny V2 thing, which was dumb as shit. But you know, like, I still can understand why people would be uncomfortable. And I think people I think that people who are trans affirming hard defending it, probably doesn't help the trans community.
Reach the point where making edgy jokes equals pedophilia. Boy, oh boy, we have really lowered the bar at this point. Before you know it, pretty much what I said in the video, breathing the same air as children will make you a pedophile. This person, Dame Pesos, responded to me and says,
yeah, that's why I push children downstairs. Stay away from me, kid.
After going through the entire Twitter, they only have 2 jokes from 2016 to show. Pathetic. They started to cry about the guy before they saw those tweets anyways. It's all a lie. They don't believe any of it anyways. The last tweet in the thread, I said the following. Even the bit about the Shadman drawing was apparently an edgy bit. It's why they posted fidget spinners with the pic. It was supposed to be a cringy joke, lol.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Granted, given his history, you won't catch me buying Shadman art, but you got to remember, in 2016, a lot of people liked and supported his art.
Weird.
It was a weird time. And this is true. A lot of people supported this guy's art. I don't know if Chris knew or not. You might have noticed in that last
Okay, so what you're saying is Chris was trying to be mysterious and cool, but it just came off as gay and autistic. I understand.
tweet, I said that the Shadman art was a bit, like a joke, okay? The reason why I said that is because the YouTube
Oh, look, a Jalen reference. Base, guys.
Jalen had reached out to Chris Tyson at the time to ask them, yo, what's the deal with the Shadman art? And again, this is a situation where maybe I shouldn't be charitable, but I'm going to. Jalen tweets, a lot of people back in the day interacted with Shadman. In fact, a lot of people defended what Shadman did as edgy humor. He had a massive platform. I think to paint Chris as a lolicon or knowingly supporting Lolly is blatantly dishonest. So they reached out to Chris to ask about the art. And
I don't see how it's dishonest. I don't understand the idea. Like, okay, it's fine if there's additional context that makes you feel right. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't think Chris Tyson's like a bad person. But why does it make them dishonest? Like, I don't understand. That's a very terminally online perspective. If somebody sees somebody hanging up a picture of, like, drawn CP, why would, you're being so dishonest about how gross is it? Like, people are going to have a visceral reaction. Why is that not understandable? I don't get it.
This is what Chris had to say at the time. If anyone ever asks, just say, you talked to me and I explained it was a shitty joke to get likes from a reply from Shad. I didn't even know about all the stuff he did. But one of his controversies, I stopped interacting with him a long time ago.
I thought that you had a picture of it, whatever.
So according to Chris, they didn't know about all the lolly shit, and they just did it as like a meme post. I'm willing to be charitable and say, okay, maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe they're not. But at the end of the day, if you are actually, and this applies to Chris Tyson.
Is this a new rule? If the lolly has 17-inch thighs, they can't be a lolicon? It's just short stack? Okay, gotcha. I don't know.
As well. If you have Shadman art and you supported Shadman, I take serious fucking issue with that. Whoa. Because contrary to what people are saying about me being okay with Shadman's art, it's not true. It's simply not the case.
What would you do, man? I'm getting the tingles on my back of my neck, brother.
I think that person is a horrible fucking person. And like the fact that they would not only draw lolly art in general, but they would actually take actual children and make lolly art of real fucking children.
True that,
That's
man.
Disgusting.
So
you'd have to be absolutely insane to defend that. And I never would. As a matter of fact, I have a clip from a stream where I commented on just that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think people will believe you. Okay, cool beans, man. Cool.
And we can take a look at what I had to say about it right now.
Is Chris Tyson is friends with somebody named, I think his name is Shadman.
Shadman's a pedo? Yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable saying Shadman is more than likely a pedophile.
Whoa, this guy's base, dude! What the fuck?
Oh, he's bringing up the Shad base stuff. I don't know if...
Yeah, I saw this video too from EDP. Like, he was trying to distance himself from being a child predator by deflecting onto somebody else. Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard anything about Shadman and Chris being friends.
Shadman.
I know there was a controversy involving the fact that Chris allegedly owned, like there was a picture he posted on Twitter of him owning like a piece of artwork by Shadman.
Is it just an allegation? What?
And I've seen the artwork in question. I'm not going to show it on stream for obvious reasons. But the artwork looked like it depicted someone who was of adult age. It looked like somebody who was very petite, kind of like...
What? I don't think that's true. What?
A Belle Delphine type figure. It might have even been a drawing of Belle Delphine. I'm not really sure. But it was something to that degree, right? What? And so, I mean, my issue with that was Shadman's a very controversial figure, okay? Very controversial. They have drawn some really fucked up shit in the past, okay? And so I will say this. I wouldn't be supporting Shadman. I don't know if he purchased that artwork or just printed it out or something like that, but I wouldn't be signal boosting or supporting Shadman's work because of his history. But either way, like I've seen the artwork and I don't personally think the artwork is anything questionable. It's just the connection to the artist in question. It's like, yeah, I would not be supporting that guy. Just being honest.
I'm going to go try to find the picture again. I'm pretty sure the picture was pretty gross. I don't think it was just like a LOL. I don't think you can really walk off that. I mean, I got the top of it. The top part of it from this video. That doesn't look like an adult. It's got fucking braces and a gap tooth. With fidget spinners. Like the fidget spinner thing, yeah, maybe it was just a meme. I get that, but that doesn't look like an adult. What are you talking about? What? I feel like it's a little bit more than you're downplaying that a little bit. I feel like the fact that you're downplaying that is bizarre. Oh, I'm looking at it. Nah, this is... Dude, can I even show this? I mean, it's censored. Can I even show this? It's really censored. Okay. It's like super duper censored. I should be able to show this for like for a second. I just want to listen to what he said again. Hold on.
But either way, like I've seen the artwork, and I don't personally think the artwork is anything questionable.
Just to be clear, this is the fucking artwork, okay? This is a fucking. I'm taking off the screen right now. It's a fucking kid. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, I don't think it's questionable, dude. Stop! You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. What are you talking about? That's like fucking like a 9-year-old. That's like a 9-year-old. You wouldn't? All right, I'll fucking edit it out of the actual video, but that's a fucking. That's a fucking 9-year-old. That's crazy, brother. It was censored. It was very censored. You know? So I think I'm okay. But like that's not an adult being drawn in a petite fashion. Come on. You really come on.
It's just the connection to the artist in question. It's like, yeah, I would not be supporting that.
All right.
Just being honest. Okay. Just being completely honest, I would not be supporting Shadman. But I don't know.
That's a brave take, brother.
I don't think they're friends.
Too risky? Okay.
If they are, that's news to me. I think. Okay, so this was my position. When did I put this up? This was my position, May 17th, 2023. Okay. I saw the art in question. I don't know if that particular piece in question is lolly, but even if it isn't, it's Shadman art. Someone we know for a fact is a lolicon. And if Chris is lying and Chris has possession of that art, that's a problem.
Okay.
And they should rightfully be called out for it. And maybe they should address it. I know that they addressed it in DMs.
But Shadman literally drew Belle Delphine. You can see the difference. I feel like I'm going to Google this now. This is not good for me. Oh. What the fuck am I doing with my life, dude? Oh my god. It is. Listen, they drew Belle Delphine as an adult. That's all I'm going to say. That from what I'm seeing. All right, it does not look like Belle Delphine. I'm going to tell you that right now. Get this fucking cancer off my computer. Oh my lord. Oh my god. This is horrible. Who did this? Get this out of here. This is horrendous. Get out of here, dude. Get this out of here.
With Jalen, but maybe
God.
It's worth
they drew Belle Delphine age appropriately. That's all from what I saw, from what I Googled. Unless there's a different thing I'm not understanding. Excuse me, not understanding. So
having a conversation about. I'm not going to jump to the conclusion that they're a pedophile or a lolicon, but yes, if they have that art, that's an issue. The other thing I saw some people trying to take out of context, because people have been trying to like. Ever since this situation with defending Vaush popped up and misrepresenting my arguments in defense of Vaush, people have been digging into previous conversations or topics I covered and trying to use it to spin a narrative that I'm a lolicon or a fucking pedophile. And this situation was another one I saw. There's this reality star known as Shauna Ray or something like that.
Yeah, Shauna Ray's like an adult. They don't even, like, honestly, I know that Shauna Ray looks abnormal, but she looks like an adult, just like a small adult. Like, she's got fucking wrinkly face and everything. Like, I mean, she's like looks like, I guess, kind of like a dwarf, you know? So I don't think people, that's not the same, obviously.
And this is a reality.
She's actually just a short stack goblin.
Star who
I'm sorry, that's not supposed to be rude.
has some kind of disability where they're 22, 23 years old, but they look like a child because of the disability they have. It's kind of similar to what...
Again, I don't think she looks like a child. She just looks like, I guess, younger. She looks short. Like, I guess some of the features, I don't know. I mean, I'm not attracted to her or anything. I'm just saying that people being disproportionate. She also has the brain of an adult, so that's something.
Milanakis has, where, like, Andy Milanakis is in his 40s, but he looks like a fucking kid.
Whoa,
right?
He looks like he's fucking kids?
Some people have taken my previous coverage of that situation, more specifically a tweet, and we'll take a look at the tweet in a second.
Heck?
And they're referencing this article here. The headline of this article is, 22-year-old who is stuck in the body of an 8-year-old admits her parents are afraid she will attract pedophiles because of her childlike appearance as she opens up about dating struggles. Okay? This article, which was released the 26th of January, 2022, keep that date in mind.
Who's actually making this argument, Tipster? Like, I don't understand. I feel like nobody's making this argument seriously. I feel like I'm canceled. That good. Cancel me. I don't give a fuck. I feel like you're going, like, I feel like one person on Twitter made this argument and you're freaking out about it. You're gooning on it.
Is being used.
I heard that Shauna has 17-inch thighs, so it's just short stack. It's not actually
to say that Tipster talked about this situation in a tweet on Twitter. and he hand-waved away the concerns of this girl and her parents. Now, if that were true, that would be really fucked up, and that would be a kind of sussy thing for me to do.
Why? Who cares? Why would it be sussy for you to hand wave the concern? The concerns are from a bunch of fucking virtue signaling losers online that complain about everything, that want to compare like everything to pedophilia. She's a person, and if people can't date her because of a disability, you could honestly consider that ableist. She honestly I guess she's short. She doesn't really look that much like a child. It's just an overreaction from a fucking annoying complaining internet. How is it sussy to hand wave that away? Why are you giving credibility to a dumb fucking argument that this grown adult can't date because the person that wants to date them would be a pedophile? I don't think pedophiles are going to date this girl. Pedophiles want to rape actual fucking kids because they're partially attracted to the power dynamic there. It's just such a I just think it's so stupid. Why even give that dumb argument any credibility to it? It's dumb. I don't get it.
The good thing is, that's not what I fucking did.
That's what I did.
The tweet in question is dated January 23rd, 2023. This tweet is basically a year after the article we looked at a second ago, an article that I was not looking at in my coverage of the situation. The tweet in question says pedos aren't attracted to people who look young. They're attracted to people who are young. By that logic, anyone who is attracted to Kiwi Sunset or Belle Delphine is a pedo, shaking my head. Now, if we scroll up and look at the
fuck is it, Kiwi Sunset or whatever? I don't care.
Full conversation.
I'll just look it up later when I'm alone.
We could see that I quote tweeted a tweet by Perez Hilton.
Cool.
This is the original article I was responding to. The tweet says, "This new TV show is so perfect for TLC and their viewers." The title of the article is, I'll just bring it up here, "Man Defends Dating Grown Woman Trapped in 8-Year-Old's Body After Viewers Call Out Red Flags." Okay? In my quote tweet, I said, she's 23, he's 26. But because her disability makes her short and look younger, him dating her is a, quote, red flag. This is literally the dumbest shit I have ever heard. People are so desperate for a pedo hunt that they're turning two adults dating each other into a pedo situation. Okay?
Again, I don't understand why you're putting takes on Twitter. What's the productivity of it? I just feel like Twitter is just cancer.
My coverage on this topic was about the fact that these two were in a consensual dating relationship, and people were labeling this guy a pedophile for dating this girl. Yeah. And I'm like, she's an adult, and so is he. I don't think this guy is a fucking pedophile. And I think it's really fucked up because some people were saying pretty much anybody who dates her,
I feel like you're over-explaining such a basic point.
Is a pedophile.
Okay.
And my response is, so is she just not allowed to date then? Because she unfortunately has to deal with this disability for the rest of her life. She's never allowed to seek out a relationship with someone else? Are you kidding me? That sounds insane to me.
Are you kidding me right now?
So no, there was no hand waving away the concerns about her parents and her about being preyed on by pedophiles. My coverage and my comments on Twitter were about her being in a consensual relationship as an adult with another adult. You can even see me. I tried to find my original video covering this, or original live stream. I couldn't find it, but I did find this stream of me doing an update to the story. You can see here, update on Shauna.
Who even really made this argument? There's no way anybody really made this argument.
Ray's boyfriend. This is me covering an update to the situation. I'm dating a 23-year-old woman who looks like an 8-year-old girl. I'm not a...
Probably good. Now he gets to do content on the Twitter interaction. That's the thing you want him to do, isn't it? I don't want him to do anything. That's not the thing I want him to do. But he's the entire thing is he's constantly on Twitter, having these interactions, which are just getting him in trouble because a lot of these are provocative interactions in an incredibly toxic space, which he's learned over and over again that's not productive for him. So no, he doesn't have a net positive interaction with Twitter, obviously. So,
creep. None of this had to do with me hand waving away the concerns of her or...
And if he does actually do it just for content, it doesn't seem to be working. I don't think that he has a pretty viable, independent, internet career or consistency.
Her parents. And the person who posted that on Twitter was blatantly lying. Being just as dishonest as so many of the people I've spoke out against through the course of this situation. I think what's really crazy is so many people, especially in the commentary crowd, have made a situation that's...
Why are you so obsessed with the commentary crowd, man?
Largely about Vaush, and they've made it about me. I honestly feel like so many of them don't actually give a fuck about the Vaush situation, and I think the only reason why they're covering it is because two people they hate, myself and Keffels, covered it. It got so bad that on Keemstar's new podcast, Lol Cow Live, they made the show so much about me. The thumbnail is me, and the title is me. Vaush is not even in the title or the fucking thumbnail.
Well, I mean, it's a lolcow podcast. So, I mean, I don't think that Vaush is there yet. But unfortunately, Tipster, it seems like you might be, you know? You have a lot of work to do if you want to get rid of that name. The first thing you do is delete Twitter. And then, you know, yeah, move from there. Probably delete Twitter, disassociate yourself with problematic people like Vaush and Keffels, and then make like consistent content about stuff that's not, you know, part of the commentary community. So, you know, and like you should just consider, like, when you were part, like, I guess part of this comment, there's so many different commentary communities, like, I don't know, whatever. When you're part of this community, it's not like you weren't toxic as well. You know, you could probably argue I might have been toxic too when I was part of like this community or whatever a year or two ago. Just disconnect yourself, like, and remove yourself from the toxicity. It seems like you haven't yet. I think the big toxicity isn't the community, it's Twitter. Twitter is fucking brain rot. It's just a weirdly toxic platform. You know, a little self-awareness might help you long-term in your, you know, career sustainability. But
got so bad that one of the co-hosts literally asked the question, why are we making this about Tipster?
Here we go. Hopefully.
Damn, you watched that with that off stream, dude? Come on. What a waste of time.
Tipster comes too.
Might as well just make money on it.
Well, hopefully Tipster comes too.
I just feel like we're going extra hard on Tipster when Vaush is who we should be, or Vaush is who we should be actually.
Vaush Stampede from the show Trigun. I don't remember why that. I remember that. Right, that's that person. I used to watch it. I used to watch Adult Swim, the Cartoon Network thing. So,
to be mad at.
I mean, Wings is spitting facts right.
I know, dude. Wings is always spitting facts. That guy's so smart all the time. I loved his video about the 12-year. Wait, what? Oh my god!
Right now, I understand that maybe people disagree with my defense of Vaush, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with it. But like in a situation that's largely about Vaush, why am I the guy that's in the title and the fucking thumbnail?
I don't know,
it's
man.
really telling that so many of these videos
crazy.
by people in this crowd made the situation about me and Keffels and not about Vaush, the person who is the subject of this situation to begin with.
I mean, maybe that's true. I don't really know. I don't have my ears to the ground, but I feel like people are talking about all of it. You know what I mean? It's content, baby.
That could be bannable.
Not only that, but there are other creators in this space who also defended Vaush, who I'm not going to name because I don't want them to get attacked the way me and Keffels have been. But there are other creators who also defended Vaush, and nobody mentions them.
Yeah, because they're probably, and maybe I'm wrong, they're probably not all over Twitter being fucking provocative, being obnoxious, like posting a bunch of stuff pretending to take Ethan Klein out of context and being like ridiculous and silly. Like, that's the problem. Don't do that part. You're trying to be, this is the problem, it bothers me. You're trying to be provocative with your way you interact on Twitter, and then people are engaging with you, and you're like, why are they engaging with me? Because you're being provocative. Like, that's what it boils down to. And they know that you're going to respond to it, and they think it's funny. Because it's like, that's the reaction that they want. And then you have like a meltdown, and you make the start of your video you throwing out all your video games and saying you can't watch anime because you might look at Lolly like weird, and then like they think it's funny. Like, that's where it comes down to. That's what it is. It's all for an interaction. This is what they want, the reaction from you. It's like, what are you, like, stop. I don't understand. Like, you don't have any self-awareness, or I guess that's what makes the lolcow. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I mean, whatever.
Because these people don't actually care about the Vaush situation. Maybe H3 does, but these people in the commentary space don't actually care about the Vaush situation.
Okay.
All they care about is having another excuse to dunk on me and Keffels. That's it.
Okay.
Multiple people at once. I'm actually kind of good at it. I understand that, but like I feel like this whole stream though has been more directed toward Tipster than it has been the dude actually committing. Well, I can't say committing crimes because what he has isn't illegal.
Do I still think the original folder leak was on purpose? I remember I had that. That was my take. It was I thought that he released that folder on purpose because he thought it would give him attention because he's constantly having provocative takes. And then I talked about how, like, you know, the original takes on this CP shit was provocative for attention. I believe that 100%. Do I still have that conspiracy? I don't know, man. I'm losing that a little bit. I don't know. Maybe though. I'm still maintaining it a little bit. Okay. I'm still maintaining it a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. I do have a conspiracy for you, though, if you guys want to entertain me in this moment. I'll bring it up for you, okay? Give me a second. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you if I can find it. I'm going to show you the conspiracy I have. All right. You ready? What the fuck? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the 12-month medium gut from Schoolboy Pookie. I love you, Papa Goat. Thank you. With 3 goat emojis. Incredible. Hold on, I gotta get this off the screen. I gotta show you my this is my newest conspiracy theory, okay? Alright, this is my newest conspiracy theory. This is like a nativity scene. It's a nice, cute little nativity scene. Well, this is a nativity scene. It's a nice, cute little nativity scene. You know, and if you look at it, you know, this is how you're supposed to interact. Like, look. What the fuck? Is this like messing up or something? Here we go. Alright, this is how you're supposed to interact with this thing. If you look at it, you got this guy here. And basically, there's his eyes, there's his mouth, there's her mouth. You know what I mean? There's her eye. Alright? Oh, so cute, so cute. But what if that's not it, and this is its eye, and these are its teeth here. This is really its eyes, and this is dinosaurs, and God knows about dinosaurs, and these are dinosaurs that are about to eat. What if that's actually what's happening here? That's what I think. I think that this is just a hint from the Illuminati telling us that dinosaurs are real. And it makes me kind of question everything. That's just something to think about, I think. That's something.
But it should be.
The crazy thing is, I know some people will say that, like, oh, you're being too charitable to Vaush. You're being too charitable to
mind blown, right?
Chris Tyson. The thing is, this kind of thing, especially like the Vaush thing, according to Vaush, this is what Vaush says, and I'm willing to be charitable and assume he's telling the truth here. Vaush says he didn't know the art was lolly when he downloaded it, and so
I don't know if I can believe that, but okay.
When he found out, he disavowed it. Okay.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of color blindness? Well, I'm lolly blind. Okay. I can't. What is that? I don't know. Is that a kid or an adult?
Okay. And I mentioned earlier how, like, anime art is very unambiguous. Like, it's not always easy to tell the age of a character. You might see a character that...
It's not about the age. I don't know if it's intentional or if he just doesn't get it. It's not the age that necessarily matters. It's what they look like. If a character looks like an adult and they happen to be 17, like, I don't really care that much. If a character looks like they're fucking 10, but they're 100 years old, that's the problem. It's not about the age. You're I don't know if this is your real argument. It's just silly. It's not a good argument. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. So stop talking about the age. It's not about that. It's about what they look like. Looks like a fucking kid.
On the surface, looks obviously like an adult, and then you look into the lore of the characters, like,
well, that's not what's happening. What's happening is apparently one of them is a VTuber that's supposedly 16, or the character's supposed to be 16, but they look like a fucking 8-year-old, like, or 10-year-old. That's the problem. That's that's the actual issue. Come on, you have to know this. If you don't, then like I don't know.
Holy shit, that's a 16-year-old girl or whatever the fuck.
Oh my god, she's actually 3,000, but she looks like a newborn. She's a fetus. But that's actually 3,000. So I think I'll let this one slide today.
Right? And it could happen to anyone.
Not me, dude.
Anyone can have a situation like that.
Okay.
Now, does that make them a pedophile? I don't think so.
Cool. That's not.
I'll even lend that same level of charitability to someone who hasn't been very charitable.
Oh my god, you're gonna bring up the Ethan clip? Oh, holy moly, dude, you're doing it. You're making the take.
To Vaush, myself, or Keffels in this situation.
Oh,
I'll lend that same level of charitability to Ethan from H3. And I have to preface this by saying, for the
well, you're a good guy, man.
record, I obviously don't think Ethan is a lolicon or a pedo.
Well, none of this has anything to do with that, so it doesn't matter. Because even if he was attracted to a 17-year-old anime character, that's still not pedophilia anyway. We're talking about Vaush that was jerking off to... Oh, Short Stack Goblin. Sorry, my bad.
But dude, you kind of set yourself up for this one.
Not really.
Just the same way that I'm willing to be charitable to Vaush and Chris Tyson,
dude, this is so bad.
I will be charitable to Ethan for this clip.
I just want to say, I thought...
Good guy. Thanks, man.
She's hot. That's it. You didn't? She was like a lady. She's not a little girl.
And it's funny because it's Korra that he's talking about, which is like anywhere from 17 to 21, depending on what point in the series.
Oh, full blown 17. Fuck. But it's a cartoon. It's a I just want to.
Homeboy really set himself up with that one.
Not really.
I will happily dab up with the Nazis.
Now I could easily be a total fucking dick and be like, "Oh, see, Ethan's a lolicon too. Look."
This is so embarrassing, man. Come on. Come on, these are not even close to comparable. one's an actual drawn child. It doesn't matter what the age is, and the other one looks like an adult. Okay, these are worlds away. I don't understand. Like, you have to respect yourself a little bit more, right? I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole, dude, but come on, have a little more self-respect. Come on, man. Think about it for a minute before you start going off. I feel like you're so fixated on defending Vaush, somebody who would never do this for you, and in the fucking ever, that you just made yourself look like a goofy goober. Why? Why do that? Like, why, man? Why stress yourself out? What do your days look like? Because let me tell you something. When I was in a little bit more controversial stuff, you know, like a year or so ago, you know, things got stressful. You know, I was partially to blame, and I can only control myself. So that's what I did, and I'm in a much better place now. And it was stressful for my wife because, like, you know, it was all annoying, and it was like it went crazy. And I took a significant amount of work to take a step back. I restarted the channel. I wanted to get my shit on point because I did not like where I was going. And, you know, I could sit here and blame 1,000 other people, but at the end of the day, I'm me. I can only change myself and like myself and how I interact and how I do, and things have gotten better. And like now things are better because it was so stressful for my wife that she was like, you know, getting angry. And it's like, how does your day-to-day life look like? Like, does this happen where you're constantly, whether you're venting to your wife or you're just like super stressed out and it having a negative impact on her and your marriage? Like, do you really want to have constant drama? Because it does bleed into the real world for you. Why are you doing this? Like, why is Vaush more worth the peace of mind that you have? It's just like, come on. Like, have you considered it like that? You know? It's like, come on, man. You gotta think about this, like, in the real world perspective.
He saw an underage anime character and said they were hot. Like,
Avatar's not anime, you fucking weirdo.
I'm not gonna do that because I'm not a fucking like dipshit, right? I'm willing to be charitable and say he didn't know. He didn't fucking know. So to wrap up this situation, just to kind of give my thoughts, I know I already stated my position at the start, but I'm going to state it again. Make it crystal fucking clear.
Cool.
I am not okay with lolly. I don't defend the existence of lolly, the consumption of lolly.
You know what's so interesting? Because people in the chat are saying that he's doing this for his queen Keffals. And it's like, let's remove Keffals from the equation for a bit. I see a lot of these moments, and I think that we all do it, where people remove agency from Tipster. Like, it's like, yeah, you know, he was just defending a friend, or, oh, no, he's just doing this to appease Keffals, or, no, he's just doing that. And, you know, I feel like this guy gets a lot of charity, and I do it too. You know? This is a grown man with agency over himself and his actions, just to be clear. I think that's something to keep in mind. You know, like, why are you doing this? And if it is because, oh, my friends, then get new friends. Like, I don't know. You shouldn't. It's not normal to every day have to like stick up for a friend, and it seems to be happening a lot. I understand this is an online space where things can get a little chaotic, but you know, it's just it's so stressful. Why would you want to be so stressed out? You know, like, what are you doing?
The production of lolly, etc. When it comes to Vaush having that shit on his computer, I'm willing to be charitable and listen to his explanation that, hey, it was an accident. I didn't fucking know. Okay.
I accidentally downloaded that. I thought it was one of my men's fashion wears.
Okay. It was really fucking stupid and really fucking careless for him to have that shit on his computer. And Vaush, if you happen to be watching this, I'm just going to be honest.
I'm sure he's not.
With you. You're kind of fucking retarded for having that
Whoa! Dude, stop. You're making me so sad.
Shit on your computer, okay? I'm just going to be real. But do I think that you're a pedophile because you accidentally downloaded that shit? No, I don't.
Bro, are you even on this guy's radar? That's a fucking crazy one. You're going to bat for somebody. I don't even think he knows who you are in any real capacity. You know, like, I
don't think so. Okay, I think people have really lowered the bar for what makes someone a pedophile, and I'm sorry, I don't think that that's the case. Okay, and in regards to Vaush defending,
I mean, even Ethan didn't explicitly call him that. He said that Vaush. I mean, he showed a clip of Vaush effectively saying that to some degree, and then saying this, but you know,
CP. I don't think that's the case. I think his arguments are being misrepresented. I think he used really terrible analogies to make his arguments, but I don't think that he's defending the existence of CP or adults having sex with children. None of that shit. Okay. I think he just used a really bad fucking analogy.
I thought you were going to actually respond to the legitimate things they said about Vaush, like where he said there's like a possible world where an adult and a child can have a positive outcome for the kid. I need an explanation for that one. Waiting for the Vaush explanation for that one. Okay. But, you know, again, my chat makes an excellent point that, you know, she, in exchange for a horrific trauma, she gets a chalky milk. So, you know, maybe Vaush was right, guys, because who doesn't want a chalky milk? What the fuck? You couldn't get that at the store yourself.
Analogy to state his position. The other thing I want to do really quickly before I wrap up this segment is I do want to apologize to some of my friends who I care a lot about. One of those friends being Keffels. When I tweeted the tweet,
the only friends I have are Benji's in my pocket, baby.
With my criticism of H3, I did try to tweet it in a way that it wasn't aggressive, or I wasn't trying to be like crazy argumentative or whatever. I
could have swore they were being argumentative as fuck on Twitter.
State my criticism, but I didn't want to be a dick about it. Okay. I tweeted that tweet. I went to bed and I woke up to utter fucking chaos because Ethan.
Has it ever happened before where you made a tweet and then you got negative feedback for it and you got upset? Has it ever happened before? You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you know, or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right?
Saw my tweet. Ethan didn't like my tweet, and Ethan responded to my tweet.
Who would have thought?
As a result of that, I was getting a barrage of fucking hate.
Okay, so don't be an internet content creator.
People were very fucking mad, and several of my friends came to my defense as a result of that. One of those people being Keffels.
Let me ask you a question. This is a real question. I'm not like, I feel like I'm being nice in this video for the most part and trying to give advice, you know. It may not be wanted advice, whatever. You think that if Keffels was able to maintain relationships with other people, that she would be your friend? That's like a real self-exploration question. Like, do you think that if she hadn't burned bridges with seemingly so many other people, and I don't know her history that well, but that seems to be the case, do you think that she would still pick you to be her friend, or do you think that maybe it's a friend of convenience? You know, it's just a question. I think it's a reasonable question. Like, how legit do you think that this relationship is? You put so much value into this. It's into your friendships. Like, what happened to you when you were young that makes you, cling to these, like, weak friendships? I just don't get it.
And because of that, they got so much shit. And I just want to take a moment to apologize to my friends for that. When I posted that tweet,
why don't you just apologize to them in private?
I did not mean for that to happen, and I am genuinely sorry that you guys got harassed and attacked because of my actions.
Damn,
I learned from this experience that I need to, before I do things, I need to better reflect on how my actions affect other people around me.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's a really good life lesson to learn. How many? I mean, I feel like you've engaged with this same thing, and I don't know. What do you mean? How many times does it have to happen? No. How many times you have to be provocative and then, like, you end up getting dumpstered?
And I'm sorry that happened. None of you guys
super chatted $1.99. Tipster is giving Boogie RN.
I'll Boogie right now. Yeah, maybe a little bit, man. Damn, I feel like one day I'm fucking destined to be one of these fucking fat, white, gross YouTubers, dude. Like Vlog House. I'm like, I fucking stay up at night. I'm always ready to quit because I just can't become that. I would be devastated. I would just have to quit at that point. Just get a real job and just stay off the internet.
Deserve to be attacked in that way, and I take full accountability for that. The other thing is this whole experience has honestly ruined anime for me in general. I said it before, like, hentai was never my thing, but if you're into hentai, honestly, just stay the fuck away from that shit, because holy fuck, like, you could look at something that looks perfectly fine and then later find out it's lolly, and then...
No, that's not what's happening. There is no possible way that you could ever look at something that you think is fine and then it turns out to be lolly. Lolly... I don't get it. Like, how do you not? It doesn't matter how old the 1,000-year-old wizard dragon princess is. If it looks like a kid, it's lolly. That's literally all it is. It doesn't have to be explicitly an age. So, like, you can't look at something and go oopsie poopsie. Like, it doesn't happen. It's impossible. You're 30-something. Stop it. Stop making this point. It's weird. It doesn't make you look good.
You could find yourself in a situation like this. So this whole situation has honestly ruined anime for me so fucking much that...
Whoa, and just so you know, a kid in an anime, and you like the anime, doesn't make you a predator. Like, you can watch an anime with a kid in it, and it's okay. You don't have to want to fuck every kid in the anime. It's like, what the fuck?
I never want to watch anime again. I don't want anything to do with anime. I got my waste bin here, and I got some of my anime. We got Death Note, one of my favorites. Fuck it. Throw it in the bin. We got some Dragon Ball Z. Another great anime show. Throw it in the fucking bin.
Is that Dragon Ball Z Kai? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's too much filler in the regular Dragon Ball Z.
Robotech seems pretty harmless, but who knows? Maybe there's some lolly in there. Throw it in the fucking bin.
How?
Ys, based on one of my favorite RPG franchises, in the fucking bin. Hell, I've got video games that are anime inspired. Those go in the bin too. Ys, the video game, gone. The Final Fantasy games.
Notice he didn't throw out his Boko no Pico.
There's
Just
probably
kidding.
some lolly in there somewhere. Get rid of them. Final Fantasy VII remakes. Gotta go. Catherine.
It's just so additionally weird. I don't know if this was part of his stream or if he made an offline video or something. But it's like, we know that you changed your bin, and so that you could throw them into an empty bin so they didn't get, like, whatever food you eat didn't get attached to it. So you did this whole thing as a performance piece. It's kind of bizarre. You don't think so?
Pretty sure there might be something sussy in there. Let's get rid of it. And just
I mean, isn't that's about, like, the guy who cheats on his girlfriend with another girl named Catherine, but with a K or something, right?
for good measure, Ethan calls people he views as lolicons, he calls them lollipops. So we'll get rid of Lollipop Chainsaw. Just to be on the fucking safe side. I'm so sick of anime at this
Why are you so worked up, dude?
point. I want nothing to fucking do with it. No more anime in my house. I'm sorry, babe. I know you're in the other room. I know you still like Pokemon and shit like that. No more. No mas.
Like, what kind of Pokemon? Like Lopunny? Because there are no rules against Pokemon. So, if you think about it. I don't know. I think I'd be more of a Jinx fan. I would just capture a Ditto and make it look like a, you know, a person. And then I would have sex with it. It's just kind of weird that I said that. That's okay. Cut that out.
It's Jover. No more anime in this house. Fuck that shit.
Okay. That didn't really help your case, brother, but hey, listen, Vaporeon, Tipster likes Vaporeon. It's a good pick. As long as he doesn't like Eevee, that would be Lolicon.